So he reveals himself to us in ways that our humanistic mind can understand him. He becomes a master illustrator, and he uses illustrations to paint and map out pictures so that we might be able to understand. Almost as if we are that 2 or 3 year old child who cannot read yet, but we are looking at the pop-up pages of a colorful book. With no words to describe to us the direction, but only pictures to paint the picture. God is like that. He is the master illustrator. Christ himself would use parables, metaphors, hypothetical situations that he would create in his mind to bring his disciples to the understanding of the principles and the practices of God. It is a God who speaks to us in terms we call anthropomorphically. That simply means that God speaks to us in humanistic ways so that we might be able to understand him. See, ladies and gentlemen, God is not like us with the physical attributes of humanity. When he said, let us make man in our image, his intention was not to make man to physically look like him. When God created Adam from the dust of the ground and intricately with detail carved him with his very own finger and breathed the breath of life into him, and he stood up a living soul, he didn't stand up and look physically like God. For the Bible says that God is a spirit. They that worship him must worship him. I'm trying not to preach. Let me talk to you. They that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. But for us to understand God, he reveals himself to us as if he was a man with the same attributes of humanity. So the Bible says, Isaiah teaches us that God is, his arm is not short that he cannot save. His ear is not heavy that he cannot hear. And if God is a spirit and he has no arms and he has no ears, then we understand he speaks to us in humanistic ways, anthropomorphically, so that we might be able to understand him just a little better. And he becomes the master illustrator who paints on our lives, on the backdrop of our lives, the canvas of our lives, beautiful images of his love, his compassion, his mercy, his grace, and his redemption.